So she finds my wife on Facebook and sends her a message. I've got a date with your husband tonight. Fuck. What's up, gentlemen? So do I have a story for you? Today, guys, I'm gonna share with you my stories of identity theft, all right? The recent one was a catfish scenario that is really, really effed up. I've had my identity stolen now 3 times. Actually, I should say the information that was stolen from me has been used 3 times. One time, wasn't that big of a deal. I'm gonna tell you that story. The second time, I almost had my finances ruined because somebody gained access to my bank account and I got locked out. And the third time, which was recently, I almost got divorced because of it. Because it doesn't matter how strong your relationship is, if your significant other gets the call or the email saying that you were effing around on them, gentlemen, good luck. And real quick, guys, before we get started, I just want to say, if you don't have some type of identity theft protection or fraud monitoring service for yourself, like, you're an idiot. And I don't mean to be like a dick or anything, but at this point, it's not getting any better. And everybody thinks like, oh, it won't happen to me. It happened to me. It happened to me 3 times. You need it. Like, every single one of you needs it in order to protect yourself and protect your credit. Because that's one of the things. If you expect to ever be able to invest or buy things, guys, you got to make sure that nobody F's up your credit. If you are looking for an incredible service that I've recently switched to, guys, I'm going to link to Aura down below. They are today's video sponsor. And if you want to check it out for free, they're giving you a 2-week free trial. So you can actually go on, sign up for free, and see if your information has actually been compromised. So Aura is the best out there, all right? I used to use a company called LifeLock. You guys have probably heard about, right? Well, I have switched to Aura for a few different reasons, all right? Number one, it is so much more affordable than their competition. The second reason is because Aura is like everything under one roof, all right? They give you fraud monitoring, identity theft protection. You get a VPN or a virtual private network that you can actually use. You get password management. Plus, you're gonna get antivirus software all within one app. Everything talks to each other. And this is the thing that really sets Aura apart from everybody else. A lot of people have like a VPN and then they've got fraud monitoring and then they might have password protection. But with Aura, it's all connected. Everything's talking to each other and connected, which means you're gonna get notified faster than like anything else out there on the market, which is something that I love. Now, the thing that Aura does, which is pretty amazing, Aura is constantly like scanning the dark web, looking for your information, your email, your passwords, your social security number. And if it finds something, you're gonna get like immediate notification through email and sent to your phone. Because when it comes to fraud, guys, every second matters, which is why with Aura, you can actually connect your credit cards and your bank account, which is the thing that I absolutely love. So you know that you're gonna get notified up to 4 times faster if there's a breach. And with Aura, like I said, you get a VPN, which means that you can like cruise through the internet like privately and all your information and browser history isn't out there. And the antivirus software is gonna stop the malware and viruses from actually infecting your computer. It's about peace of mind and it's about protecting yourself. In the age of computers and everybody doing everything online, you need this protection, and right now it is totally free for the next 2 weeks. Guys, there's a link down below this video, aura.com/alpha-m. Go through there because you can sign yourself and your family up, and if you do, you're gonna be able to see if your information or your family's information has actually been compromised. Free. It is free to go and see if your information is out there. It is time for you to take control and take action. Hit the link down below, aura.com/alpha-m. Go there and start your free 2-week trial. Link everything and see if your personal information is out there and has been compromised. Your family's too, because that's the thing. Guys, the family plans are amazing. It's not just about protecting yourself, it's about protecting your family. And with Aura, it is crazy affordable. After your free 2 weeks, guys, it's less expensive than like everything else out there. And that's one of the things. They don't try and nickel and dime you for like different features. They give you everything for a crazy affordable price. Guys, hit the link down below. It is free, like as in free. Don't be stupid. Do it. All right, guys, so before I tell you about the girlfriend situation, I want to tell you about the first 2 times my identity was stolen. All right, the first time I went to the mail, I opened it up. Verizon, I don't have a Verizon bill. Normally I think, oh, I'll just toss it, right? But something told me to open it. It looked like a bill. I opened it up, sure enough, I had a bill for like $50. I'm like, what the hell? What is this? Right? I called them up, like, oh yeah, sorry, somebody opened up an account in order to get a free phone, and now you have a bill. I'm like, well, what should I do? This is crazy. It wasn't me. And she's like, well, what I'd recommend is go down to the police department and actually put in a claim that your identity was stolen. So I went down there, I'm like, hey, what should I do? He's like, there's really nothing you can do other than go and get a credit monitoring service. So the first time that happened to me, it sucked, right? But it wasn't like the end of the world. They canceled it and I got my monitoring and I was like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good. Unfortunately, I didn't feel super good when I went to the bank a few months later. And they're like, Aaron, did you change your address? Did you move to New York? I'm like, New York? No. Did you change your phone number? I said, no. They said, we have a problem. I said, what do you mean we have a problem? The people called up the bank and apparently had all of the required information that they needed in order to basically change the address, the phone number, and they ordered checks. It's the only time in my life that I literally thought I was gonna pass out. Like I was having a legit panic attack. I started to get really cold. I started to sweat. I had to sit down. And it was the fear, right? It was the fear of somebody having access to my information, access to my money, and losing everything. It was one of the most, I've never felt more violated and I've never felt more vulnerable in my life. And the reason why it happened is because I didn't have my bank account linked to my fraud protection, right? And that's the thing about Aura that I'm trying to tell you guys, you can link everything together. At this point, there's no excuse for you not to be protected. Now, let me tell you about the most recent situation that I had to deal with. Somebody used my information, my name, my pictures, my business name for a dating profile on Bumble. And my wife one day was minding her own business when she gets a Facebook message from this woman. She goes, hey, I have a date with your husband tonight. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? I just saw his profile on Bumble and we've been talking and he's in Florida right now, right? And she's like, no, he woke up here in Atlanta. She's like, are you sure? So she asked my wife, are you sure he didn't go away to Florida for business today? And my wife's like, no. And I am a firm believer that the only reason why my wife literally didn't castrate me is because of the fact that it was so obvious that there was no way that it could be me, all right? But he used all my pictures, he used my name, he used the word Pete and Pedro as my business, but a few things he did that I thought were funny, that was obviously not me. He said that he was 6 feet tall. I'm 5'6". Woman kept sending my wife messages and messages about me and the fact that she's like, oh, once I saw that he was married, I wanted to reach out to you just to make sure that you knew, and because I've been cheated before and I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, I'm like, it literally ruined my day. And it's not that my wife didn't believe me. She believed me because it was obviously not me, right? I wasn't in Florida and I'm obviously not 6 feet tall. You know, and I've been cyber stalked before, and so is she, and so we've dealt with some crazy people, but this was the first time that it really like hit close to home in terms of like infidelity, right? And so, you know, even though she believes me, the thought in my mind is going like, well, what if this wasn't in Florida? What if it was in Atlanta? What if it was somebody using my shit or just wanted to cause me pain and suffering and just called her out of the blue and was like, hey, you know, I'm seeing your husband, or your husband's been cheating, or like whatever. It made me paranoid, if I'm being honest. And it's one of those things that it's so scary because at certain points, it's kind of like your word versus theirs. And if somebody says that you do something, if you can't back it up or prove that it wasn't you, it's kind of like you're kind of fucked. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of do this video and tell you about these 3 situations because I'm not special. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And you've just got to protect yourself because unfortunately, you know, even though you're an amazing person, there are a lot of shitty people out there. And I don't want their horrible actions to affect you the way that they affected me or worse. And so you just got to protect yourself. Bottom line, you got to be good to yourself. You got to make sure that you're not doing anything stupid in terms of the internet. There's some horrible people out there. The good news is that you're not one of them, and I love you. Thanks for rolling with me. Thanks for hanging with me. And thank you for not using my pictures in your dating profile. But for the person who did, I would just like to say that if I was 6 feet tall, I would literally rule the world.